Troy's Everyday Eats brought to you by The Fresh Market.
Welcome back to Rising, 7:41 now. Troy's Everyday Eats getting us in the mood for St. Patty's Day. 1 week from today, we're making some potato cakes in the Rising kitchen. These smell wonderful.
So what we did in the first segment is we took cold potatoes, and I took some of the Brussels sprout leaves, we put them in there, and we softened those up. We made potato cakes out of it. We'll get to that in a second. The Brussels sprouts, I'm going to go ahead, they're done. They've been going about,
nice
25, 30 minutes. They're nice and tender.
That's how I like them, when they're so tender like that.
But they're not falling apart. I'm with you on that. I like them soft. I definitely don't like them firm. It's one of those vegetables that I don't like firm.
I agree.
I like a lot of them firm, but these I kind of like soft. So we're going to actually make a little pan sauce right in here. Now, one thing I did at the break is I add just a touch of apple cider vinegar just to combat some of that bitterness from the Brussels sprouts. Now, when you sear them in the pan like we did, they get kind of nutty, tasting. So what we're going to do is
that'll calm that down.
We'll add a couple pads of this butter.
Because you're making it a little soft.
Yeah, we'll just let that kind of do its thing.
All right, so after that,
the potato cakes, I've just floured them. Now, they've got the Brussels sprouts leaf in them, a little bit of bacon, and a whole bunch of Parmesan. And you'll see when we
fresh
get to
Parmesan.
the finished product.
I saw you working that block of Parmesan.
The recipe online, you're going to get about 8 cakes out of it.
That's good. That feeds the whole family.
Yeah, just portion them into 8 different equal portions. I like using a little scoop, like a little ice cream scoop. That way they're all exactly the same size.
And just doing it in the pan, you're frying it up in the pan, so that's easy.
Yeah, we're doing a little shallow fry, which I like to do. I'm not a huge fry guy. We did the fried chicken last week, but I like to grill and saute and braise and stuff like that. So let's get this butter swirled around there. And this sauce is going to be rich because it's got the chicken stock in there. You're just going to pour it all over the potato cake? Well, this is how we're going to do it.
Oh, you're going to plate it up for us right now.
Right. We're going to take some of the Brussels sprouts, and we're going to put them in the middle of the plate. This is if you're trying to be fancy.
Of course. You have to. You already put all this hard work in. Not to make it look good.
Take a few like that. Let me spread them around.
There we go.
Of course, we've got to have a little bit
of
bacon. That was the bacon that we cooked before. Now check these out. Look at the crust on this.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Some nice texture because it's going to be soft in the middle with the potatoes. That nice little crunch on the outside, and then here we go, baby, the good stuff. Drizzle, drizzle.
Maybe we don't want to mess up that cake too bad, but we'll put a little bit on there.
That looks fantastic.
And there you go. Now when we come back, we're going to explain what a cottage pie is. Most people know what a shepherd's pie is, but not necessarily a cottage pie.
And you always do this to us. You take something classic, put your little spin on it, and it always tastes
a little bit
fantastic. What's more Irish than shepherd's pie, but Chef Troy doing it a little bit different, doing a cottage pie. What's the difference?
Well, shepherd's pie is made with lamb, and cottage pie is made with beef.
That's it.
That's really the only difference. We're going to throw a little twist in it because the potatoes that we're going to use, well, normally there's a crust on the top. Normally you make the filling, you put it in the pan, you top it with mashed potatoes, you throw it in the oven. Well, we're going to put a crust on the bottom. So now for the filling, I've got the beef, and there was a lot of liquid in there. I wasn't really concerned about searing it. I just wanted to get it cooked and render some of that out. So if there's some juice in there, that's good because that's all that beef flavor. We're not even going to use beef stock because technically
you got it right there.
We're making beef stock right now. So we got onions, carrot, and turnip. You can use whatever you want.
Don't use that often. I like
very
that.
Underutilized vegetable.
Exactly.
I'm going to have you stir that up if you think you can do that without getting it all on your suit.
Yeah, I think
and blaming me for it again.
Well, no, that's when you have me throw things into hot grease like you normally do.
Still working on those aprons. Maybe at Christmas.
There you go. Get me an apron for Christmas.
I'll talk to Angie about that.
Yeah, there we go. Our boss. All right. So as she does that.
The thing with the crust is, and we're gonna do another couple steps with that. The thing with the crust on the bottom is we're gonna put a little protectant or something that's gonna make it a little crunchy on the bottom. So the breadcrumbs that we toasted earlier with the bacon.
Yeah.
And we're gonna add. I chopped up the bacon real fine, so we're gonna put that in there.
That's part of the crust. I like that.
Your bacon is fine.
Ooh. Thanks for noticing, Derek. All right, a little bit more bacon in there. Okay, so what we're going to do is I took an iron skillet. You can use a pie pan or whatever you feel.
Crisco all over there?
No, what it is this bacon fat.
Oh.
If you're like me, you save your bacon fat. And why it's firm like that.
No, I'm not like you. Maybe next time.
Well, we all can't be like
Can I use Crisco if I don't have bacon fat?
You could. There's no taste in Crisco. But see, the thing is it's going to help some of these breadcrumbs stick to the edges and the sides.
Okay.
So we'll do that. Right. So I'll finish that here in a little bit because we're not going to actually do the crust just quite yet. So now for this, we're going to add some thyme. So we've got some vegetables in there that have flavor. The carrots are sweet. The turnips are actually kind of peppery. The onions are, you know, they're a little sharp. You know, and the beef obviously has got a little
I
meaty
like that you
protein.
throw
to
the
it.
thyme in like that because there's nothing more annoying than trying to peel off every leaf.
Well, because I figure, you know, when you get it in your plate, you can just pull the stem out. So now we're going to add some garlic, and then we're going to add some balsamic vinegar. Now think of the balsamic vinegar as kind of a bridge between flavors. It's going to take the meatiness and the vegetables that are kind of, you know, not bland, but they've got some just real simple flavor to them.
Okay.
And the vinegar is going to kind of bridge that gap and make them all kind of taste together. And then this is going to round it all out.
This is the good stuff. I love
A little bit
this.
of tomato paste or toothpaste. Don't ever
I know
brush.
it looks like toothpaste.
Don't ever brush your teeth with that. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of flour because this is going to start, we're going to thicken this up. Now, like I said, we're not going to use any stock. We're just going to use water. So once that cooks down a little bit, I'll show you what to do next when we come back.
All right, sounds good. Finishing up our cottage pie. Gosh, does that look delicious.
Well, and it's so simple, really. And the way we started it was just with some beef. I went to the fresh market. I got like a chuck roast.
The good stuff.
Yeah, and I picked. That's why I love going there, is because you can go, I want that one right there. And you can pick out your own, and it's got no plastic over it or anything like that.
Exactly. They'll get it the right size, cut it down for you.
So what I did was I cubed that up kind of small, and I, you know, threw it in there. We browned it a little bit, and I said, don't worry about searing it. Just let the juices come out. We put carrots, onions, some turnips, some thyme.
So it's healthy.
Well, kind of. I mean, I guess you could say it is.
Hearty.
I mean, hearty would probably be the word I'm going for. So as you can see, it's starting to reduce now. So we got the thyme in there, balsamic vinegar,
I can really smell
tomato
that thyme.
paste. So now, then you put it in here. I showed at the break, you know, we got the breadcrumbs down at the bottom, then we put the mashed potatoes with the arugula on the top, and then we're going to just kind of just smear this around. And I know we're got a little bit of time left.
Are you going to put that back in and get another crunch on top?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You want your rack of the oven set at the very low, the bottom of the oven.
Oh, okay.
And that way, because
What's that do?
we want the bottom of this crust just to get nice and crusty. That was, you know, we got the breadcrumbs in there and the bacon and all that. And
So
here's the
low
breadcrumbs.
down to the heat.
So we're going to add some more at the top.
I love that.
And you can
Good
put a
texture
fancy
going
pattern
on.
or whatever you want to on the
sure,
top.
like a little heart or something.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I could do that, but.
And then voila.
And then
we
voila.
have a finished version.
400 degrees. It's going to take you about 30, 45 minutes or so, and just until it firms up. You do kind of want to let it rest a little bit.
Okay.
I had a spoon somewhere.
Oh, did I take it?
We'll use this one.
Yeah, just, that has the
about
good
that?
stuff on there, so there you go.
So we'll take a little wodge of this out.
A wodge?
A wodge.
I
don't
like
know.
that.
That might be a word. It might not be.
I think it might be a new one.
So you can see the filling in there.
Terrence is like, yeah, doesn't that look good?
Now, when you
So
put
good.
the filling in there, you want to take some of the juice out. Don't put all the juice in it, so you can pour it over the top, and then check that out. I mean, it's mashed potatoes, gravy, stewed beef, cottage pie.
Cottage pie, baby.
Awesome.
Get that recipe, WCCBCharlotte.com.
That's exactly right.
Chef
and
Troy,
the
thank
potato
you.
cakes.